Hey developers, in our previous episode we saw how to perform some advanced arithmetic operations. Now in this episode let's see how string works in Python. In our previous episode we saw how to print anything in Python. Now to print in Python we use single quote or double quote. Inside the single quote or double quote we type anything that we want to print in console or terminal. So here we can see that we have printed hello world. So we use print function, which is a built-in function, and inside the parentheses we use single quote or double quote. When Python interprets this line of code, it sees that whatever you have written in single quote or double quote, Python consider it as a string. So now let's understand what is escape character in Python. Now when we try to print sentence like it's Monday today. So when we try to print sentence like it's Monday today, it gives us an error. Now let's break down this error. Now when Python interprets this sentence, here it sees that here we have an starting quote and further it encounters this quote as an ending quote. And then here we don't have any starting quote, but we do have an ending quote over here. So Python says inside this you have written string, but we don't have any starting quote over here. So it says what you have written this. So this is the reason why it returns an error. In this case, if we want to print sentence like this, we use an escape character. So now let's try to print this sentence with the help of an escape character. So it's Monday today. To use an escape character, we use backward slash sign. So now let's try to print. So here you can see that we have printed with the help of an escape character. Here what happens is when we use an escape character, it basically just skips this quote and prints this whole sentence. And Python considers this sentence as a string. So now let's try to print this sentence without using an escape character. To print this sentence without using escape character, this time we will use double quote, and inside this we will type it's Monday today. So you can see that we have printed this without any escape character. Here what happens is here we have used double quote instead of single quote, and Python consider this as a starting quote and this as an ending quote. This time Python will not consider this single quote because we have used double quote. This is the reason we didn't got any error over here. In the same way, when we try to print the sentence like print he is the only boy in the group. So when we try to print sentence like he is the only boy in the group, Python returns this error. This is because here Python considers this as a starting quote and this as an ending quote. Further it interprets this sentence and sees that we have starting quote over here and ending quote over here. Python considers this as a string and this as another string, but Python does not consider this as a string because we don't have any starting quote or ending quote over here. Basically we can use escape character over here like print he is the only boy in the group. So now let's try to print with the help of escape character. So here you can see that we have printed with the help of an escape character. Here what happens is we have escaped this double quote and this double quote with the help of an escape character. So Python considers this whole as a string. So now there is another way to print this sentence without escape character. Here we can do is that print, and this time we will use single quote, and inside the single quote we will use double quote. So he is the only boy in the group. So you can see that we have printed this sentence without the help of escape character. Here we have used this quote as a starting quote and this quote as an ending quote. This time the Python will not consider this double quote or this double quote because we have single quote outside of these both quotes. So this is how we use escape character